Well, hello, my name is Nicholas.
And I'm Alex.
And this is Doctor Who on the Twin Review. Boo! Magical special effects, title screen sequence, music plays. So what did you think?
And this moving around.
There's not going to be anything there.
Darn.
We're currently reviewing the episode Lie of the Land, which is the third part of kind of the whole evil, creepy-looking undead monk creatures series, which was it was a brilliant storyline. I think it was 3 episodes long, which seemed kind of unusual for the middle of a season. I thought.
Is it just the middle of the season?
Well, I mean, it's not like it's the conclusion of the season. There's still another 3 or 4 episodes to go of the season.
Right. I feel it is more on the tail end of it, but
it seemed very big and grandesque, and not yet time for that.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I've gotten the feel for a lot is with the monks. They're very silence-esque in some ways, but with how the monks put themselves in time, it's also how the silence has always been there.
One thing I noticed before we get into our what we liked and disliked about this episode, you and I were both kind of right about something.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you know? What were we right about?
But the kind of a pandemic
No.
thing. No. Remind me.
We were right about the Doctor Who's regeneration. Now let me remind you, you had suggested that this storyline was going to be the thing that caused the Doctor Who to regenerate.
Because I think this main plot here is what's going to cause the Doctor to basically regenerate.
And as we saw in this episode, he certainly began to regenerate. Now, I had another theory that I had brought up in the previous, one of the previous episodes that we did of reviewing. I had a funny thought. It's absolutely wrong, but I was like, oh, what if what it cost him is his ability to change when he regenerates? It's not actually Peter Capaldi's last season because he regenerates into another Peter Capaldi. But that's no. That's not the case.
No.
And as we saw, he most certainly did.
I mean, kind of. I think it was more of just kind of like a light show for her.
But we were both right. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Lie of the Land. What did you particularly enjoy, if anything at all?
I think what I enjoyed the most of this episode was just the Nardi moments.
Nardi, Nardi.
It's a name that you could pronounce and not get wrong.
It's me, Nardi. Takes off the hat because, of course, oh, the egghead. There we go. Now I know. Now I see.
Yeah. I liked how near the beginning, the way Bill made sure it was actual Nardi. He's like, what sound does the door make? Shook, shook. Obviously.
I didn't understand that part. Maybe I've forgotten a reference, but what's with the shook, shook?
That's from...
Oh, that show, Doctor Who.
Yes. The episode, Oxygen, where the doctor was saying the automated door.
Supposed to go shook, shook.
She was just kind of like asking him about moments that they've done.
To make sure it was the true Nardi.
Yeah.
Good old Nardi. Long live the Nardi.
Yes. Oh, speaking of long living.
Yes.
Well, because in the previous episode we saw him pass out because of the the poison, and
you were saying you thought he was going to be dead. I thought.
No.
Well, maybe I thought he was going to be dead.
I was saying that
one of us thought he was going to be dead.
I don't know.
But anyway,
because one of us had said that, but he can't die because it's a lovable character. And he had said, "Good thing I'm not human, or else I would have." But only his lungs were human, so he was out for 6 months. 6 weeks, sorry. 6 weeks.
It was 6 weeks.
Yes. And how long was the total time? 3 months, right, that the monks were there. So that was the rest of the time that Nardi took to find the doctor.
I don't think he had to find the doctor. Remember, that was all part of the ruse.
Well, find the doctor.
It was Nardi's plan, remember?
In a way.
He didn't have to find the doctor. He knew where the doctor was. That was all part of the scheme.
No, he was saying in a way. Yes.
No, he said in a word. I thought you said in a word.
Whatever.
I really liked the way that they incorporated her mom and the conversation with her mom and how that kept being an encapsulating piece of that particular episode, where she would kind of narrate to her mom, almost as if he was writing letters to her, keeping her image alive, keeping her memory alive, even though she didn't truly had a memory. Her only memory exists from the photos. So everything about her mom was completely imaginary, but I adored how they went to that such detail. Not only in the beginning, I almost thought it was a simulation, because, you know, the monks are all about simulations. And I was like, her mom's there. This has got to be a simulated world. And then it wasn't, because they showed that it was just her imagination with her mom being there, being completely pretend. But what I liked, the little detail on the table, when Nardi came in, there was still the cup of steaming tea. That Bill kept her mom so alive in her memory, she went to the effort and point of setting the table, if you will, for this non-existent person. She put out a cup of tea for her. Cup of tea. A cuppa.
Well, there was one thing that I was thinking of is, because Nardi says that he's not human. So what is he exactly? Like,
it doesn't matter. He's not human. He could be alien. Any form of alien. The Doctor's not human.
Yes, and we talked that he's more like a cyborg. But then, well, the Doctor, he's a Time Lord. And so what does that make Nardi?
I think Nardi is just some other alien creature, and
yeah.
I mean, he was met in the Travels. I mean, he basically had. I think that he was something else. But remember, the Doctor said he had to reassemble him, so I think he's part android, part. I guess he's just cyborg. I guess he's cyborg with other biological components that aren't his original flesh. And his head was saved in the King thing from back when, the Christmas story with the Doctor and River Song and blah 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 blah.
Well, another thing that I liked was how the Doctor punked Bill.
Yeah, I think her reaction was appropriate. It was completely appropriate. Like, what is going on? Who are you people? Why is this okay?
My first thought when I was, when that whole scene was unfolding and the Doctor was like, regenerating, I'm like, he's gonna regenerate already?
Now?
It's like, it didn't feel like the way it was being portrayed didn't feel like it was time for it though. It's like, it can't happen now.
That's why I was like, there's no way. But I was legitimately convinced too, because the way the Doctor was acting, the only thing that caught me off guard, although I guess it shouldn't have, because Doctor Who doesn't really have a whole lot of blood and gore in it, but just the fact that there was no blood when he was shot. But I think that's just because of the rating of it. It just doesn't happen to have a whole lot of blood, and we rarely see blood.
Yeah.
No blood.
And I'm okay with that.
He's okay with that. So there was a big thing that happened in this episode that I really did not like. You know what it was? Doctor Who stole my face. Capaldi stole my face. Right here. See that? That right there? That's my face. And here's the Doctor's face. And now, just in case any of you are wondering, that face, my face, that face came from a video that I made months ago. So I was first. You stole my face!
Chill.
Stole my face.
Have a cup of tea.
Stole my face. All better. Anyway, what did you not like? Anything? Or did you just... I'm all happy canary with this video. Show. Episode. That says a lot. Yes, it does.
I mean, I really didn't dislike, and just, with the whole aspect of everyone being very monotone, being in the whole, you're under a dictatorship, labor camps. I mean...
Who is monotone?
Not monotone. Monocolor, I guess, would be the term. I don't know.
Oh, everyone wearing the same color, the same clothing.
Yes.
Very, Nazi Germany, kind of like.
Yeah,
World War II.
Like
Very similar in construct, I suppose.
Yeah, so just
labor camps.
It happened. But I don't think there was really anything I didn't like about it.
So aside from the joking thing about my face, there actually was some things that I didn't like. Surprise, surprise! Nick's getting nitpicky again.
What didn't you like about it?
I thought the giant monument towers broadcasting the brainwaves, it seemed like a science fiction that I just couldn't get behind. That they were apparently utilizing her as what they call the key pin, something?
Linchpin.
The linchpin. It just didn't make sense that they were using her brain and broadcasting thoughts from her brain like it was through her her that they were connected to the entire human race. It just seemed silly, I thought. Very, very silly.
I mean, to me, it was an intriguing concept where it's almost like, one person can affect so many.
I guess.
By one decision, you can, change people's lives. And that's what happened.
I don't know. I still think the simulation way might have made more sense. And I'll get this in a bit, because again, the whole ending of this scenario with the whole broadcasting propaganda through their brainwaves and brainwashing, which I guess was cool, all the espionage and the brainwashing, but
I think it also... Sorry if I cut your thought
You
off
did.
from it.
You did.
Fine.
The method was silly, and ultimately the ending was a little bit disappointing. It was a big, grand, trilogy episode storyline. Phenomenal things occurring here. And then it just kind of was like, alright, well, we get to the end, and it was cool the way that they wrapped it up with the image of her mom being an imaginary thought, a pretend memory, not being able to be touched because the monks can only affect real memories. They can't touch something that's imaginary. They can't touch something that's fake, and that was so strong it was able to clean all the brainwashing propaganda and let people see the truth. However, it was such a big storyline that felt like it brought it all back, cleaned it all up, and packaged it in a nice bow back to normality, kind of in the same way that every Transformer movie has this big end of the world scenario that just is, oh, turn the Doomsday Machine off, and back to normal. Not a thing has gone wrong, not a thing is different, everyone's just happy to continue on with their life. See, I would have been happy, really happy, if Bill had died. Not that I don't like Bill, the point is though, for a story, for us to feel, for our heartstrings to be pulled and wrenched out of our chests through our esophagus to the point that we feel the pain. What are you doing?
Sewing your chest wound back up.
My chest bone back up?
Chest wound!
Oh. But for this big, powerful machine that they were saying it's a highly powerful technology. I mean, Nardi was like, Doctor, how could you plug your head into it? It's gonna make you explode or something. And I must say, I really like the personality of the Doctor and what he said. What was my note? Oh yeah, I know, it doesn't stand a chance. Just the ego of the Doctor is held high, and I love it. But with Bill, this powerful machine that the Doctor couldn't control, that the Doctor almost lost his brain to, basically, his 3 brain stems couldn't handle, and Bill with an imaginary memory is just able to, voila, clean everything out.
Yeah, I mean, well, some things I want to say about is with the whole, brainwashing thing that you have a issue with. Put your arms down.
I can, I know, but continue.
Put your arms down.
Continue.
Alright. Well, I feel like with the movies such as Hunger Games and
Divergent?
Yes, Divergent. They all had that same kind of feel to it where everyone's being brainwashed. And maybe they pulled off of that kind of design to add to this episode as well.
I suppose, but I mean the brainwashing didn't really happen in Hunger Games.
Put your arms down.
Imagine with me, if you will! Just imagine if Bill had sacrificed herself, the way the fans would have gone crazy and been like, ah! And she would have been remembered and idolized for her sacrifice in saving the world. Our heartstrings would have been wrenched out of our esophaguses. Through our esophaguses. And it would open up a great opportunity, I think, for the storyline to continue with Missy having to come out as a companion, because there has to be a companion somewhere, and the Doctor diverts after this terrible loss of his great friend Bill to the only true friend he has left, Missy in the vault.
Are you doing your tangent?
No! I'm going straight on to cosine. Math joke, tangent, never mind.
So anyway, one point that I wanted to make was that I liked how it ended, because it's kind of like, love conquers all kind of thing. Not,
yeah, I suppose. Not
love out of fear or love, I don't know. And even though that love was kind of what put him all in the situation in the first place. But the fact that Bill loved her mother so much that even though she really didn't know her, she still had her in her life, in a way. So, I feel like because like with at the end when the doctor is saying about the humans never like learning from their mistakes, like, and Bill says that's kind of part of our charm.
It's part of our charm.
It's like, you know, the human race has their own charm of, well, kind of like not really learning from their mistakes, kind of, but also the fact that we will sacrifice certain things out of love for one another, and that, you know, true love is sacrificing certain things for other people, and that's what Bill did in the first place to, you know, save the doctor, but it's also what she did to save everyone again.
I suppose. I don't know if the love was the whole message. It was a beautiful speech. The words, the rhythm, it was enough to move anyone with even an ounce of compassion.
Thanks.
Moving on from here, do you have any theories about where this is going? Because I do. If you don't. And if you do, I still do.
Not really.
I've got a theory. Missy, she still hasn't gotten out of the vault.
No.
Now, this would be great if Bill had died and Missy had to come out of the vault. It just happened to be that way. And then I think that Missy is going to be the one that causes the doctor to regenerate. And here's how I think it's going to happen. Missy, the last scene at the end where she was like, oh, my life is changing, I'm remembering all the people that I killed. She is the only one, as the doctor said, who is, maybe he said almost as clever as him, or as clever as him, I don't remember. It might have been almost or as. Either way, Missy's very clever. She's also a sociopath. I don't believe that she is truly having a change of heart, but I believe this is all part of her malevolent plan. Is that a word? Is that the right word? I don't care.
Malevolent.
Malevolent plan. This is part of her plan to get the doctor to release her.
Unless you mean benevolent.
I don't know. Why would it be benevolent?
Evil plan. Let's go with that.
Is evil. I think she's trying to play with the doctor's heartstrings and get him to release her.
Ding, 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 ding.
And once she has his trust enough to let her out because she has convinced him through manipulation that she has changed, that is when she will turn on him and cause him to die, or rather, regenerate. That's where I think we're headed for the end of this season. Let us know in the comments below your theories, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right, or if you've got something way out there in left wing that would be just even better than all of our theories or ideas. Let us know what you thought about the episode, and if there's nothing else, we'll see you all in another episode of Doctor Who on the Twin Review.
If you have random thoughts, put those as well.
Bye.
Bye.